Authorities in Minnesota are expanding testing for impaired drivers on the side of the road now that cannabis is legal.
Valley News Team's Quinn Gorham explains this new roadside testing program that will begin as early as next month.
As laws change, so do their enforcement methods.
This is just the next generation of technology and another tool that law enforcement can deploy when they do encounter that driver who's impaired by something that may not be alcohol.
For Minnesota, the legalization of cannabis has presented several new challenges. One of them has been the administration of a roadside test, something that hasn't really existed until now.
The instruments that we're looking for look for the active ingredient in cannabis that makes a human being high.
Mike Hansen with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety says the new test will be administered much like a breathalyzer with a few key differences.
This is not going to be an evidentiary test. That's going to remain the gold standard, that blood test that we obtain with a search warrant. We just want to put another tool in the hands of law enforcement who will come in contact with a drug-impaired driver.
It's not just cannabis. The new tests will be able to detect metabolites in one's saliva from opiates, amphetamines, benzodiazepines, and more. DPS is confident the new tests won't run a risk for false positives. Those who smoked legally and are no longer feeling the effects will likely be fine.
So we're not just looking for somebody who smoked yesterday, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Those aren't the metabolites that we're testing for. We're looking for that one substance that makes you high.
Minnesota sees a major uptick in DWIs during the holiday season, and as the state begins a campaign to cut down on those DWIs, they're expecting to see more cannabis-related incidents after this year's legalization.
We're hopeful that our message of making wise decisions resonates with people, and those that are choosing to consume legally don't decide to get behind the wheel, because it's every bit as dangerous and it's every bit as illegal.
In St. Paul, Quinn Gorham, Valley News Live.
If the pilot program is successful, the Department of Public Safety will head to the legislature to ask for full funding for these testing kits.